Hello and welcome to another RPA tutorial video. Today in this tutorial video, we are going to learn how we can migrate Automation Anywhere version 11 code where you have used a MetaBot to Automation 360. So we will see in details what are the steps we need to follow in order to migrate code from version 11 to Automation 360. Okay, before start, in case if you are visiting this channel for the first time, or if you have not subscribed this channel yet, I would request you to kindly support us by subscribing this channel so we can create more and more tutorial video for you guys. Okay, now let me show you the code which we are going to migrate. So this is the code where I'm using Outlook MetaBot. So this code will show you how it can launch the Outlook applications, and it will read the email and it will show you the mail subject in the message box. So these are the logic which we are using here in the code. So we are launching the Outlook, then we are selecting the profile, then we are selecting the account, and after that we are selecting the particular inbox. Okay, after that we are using a get all IDs array. So basically this logic will help you on getting all the mail informations into the this output variable called array mail IDs. Okay, so here I have just kept the number of mail item is 3, so it will read only top 3 email which is available in the Outlook. Okay, and after that just given the loop, so that loop can read the informations whatever value we will get it from here, and it will show you in the message box. So this is the code where we are using a metabot as well as the taskbot commands also. So the metabot you can see here, these are the logics, and for taskbot like delay, if conditions, loop, and the message box. So we will see once it will migrate to Automation 360 how it looks and what are the changes you have to make in order to run this code there also. So it's not always the code migration. Once you complete the code migration, this is not always going to run directly. So you have to make a small changes in order to run your code into Automation 360 also. So we will see how you can analyze the code and you can understand the changes where you have to make it in order to run the code in details. So I'm just running this code quickly so we can see how it looks like in version 11. Then we'll move to the migration step. Okay, so you can see here the Outlook has been launched by the bot. It will take some time depending on the data or email which is available in your mailbox. Okay, so this is the first email you can see here. Now the second one and this third one. All right, so this code will do this small action only. Okay, now let me go to the Automation 360. Okay, before going to Automation 360, let's see the metabot which we are using, what are the informations available into it. So whenever you are migrating a code where you have used a metabot, okay, so you have to migrate the ATMX task as well as the metabot which you are using. So you have to migrate both the things into Automation 360. So here you can see in asset section, we have the DLL files, which is available here. And in the logic sections, whatever metabot logic you have created will be available here. So once we migrate this, it will migrate everything to Automation 360. Okay, now I'm coming to here. So this metabot migration task I have created. So here we will see how we can migrate. So there are several ways we can migrate the bot from version 11 to Automation 360, but the easiest way is you can just use a migration package. So bot migration package is there. You have to just drag it and you have to put your task bot path here. Okay, so now let's see. So I have just kept this task bot here. So I'm just taking this copy as path, and here I'm just giving the complete path of the bot. Okay, you can see here another option is available here, output folder. So once you migrate the code, this code will migrate into Automation 360, as well as we have the options to see the output. Okay, once the migration is done, you'll have a XML file, okay, that will show you the information about your code. So now let's see what information this output can give. So I'm just creating a folder called output, so we can see what are the things will be available here. So I'm just keeping this. Now let me save. So this will migrate our task bot, which is basically a ATMX file. Now let me create a copy of this code, and we will migrate our metabot also. So I have just kept this metabot here. So similarly, I will just take a location. Okay. So here the output file will be the same. Now let me save this and run. So by this way, is both the task will migrate. So when you run this task, it will take some time. The reason is depending on your code, where like the number of line items present in your code, and also when we migrate the metabot, so it is also going to take some time. The reason for that is if you have a more number of logics available in your metabot, it will take time because it will migrate everything. So once the migration will be done, we will see in details what are the things we can see in Automation 360. So let's see this first. Okay, so the code has been run successfully and the migration is completed. Now let's quickly see our output folder. So here you can see the code migration has been completed, and these are the logic, okay, which is present in our metabot has been migrated, and you can see the file type is here is XML file. Okay, now we'll not go in details for this. Okay, so once you migrate it, in case if you want to explore it more, you can try from your end. So basically this output XML file will contain the information about your code only. Okay, now let's see where is our migrated code available. So as I'm using currently a community edition, okay, so here I have a limitation. So it will by default comes to bot folder bots. Okay, now let me just do a last modify. Okay, so you can see here this 4 minutes and 5 minutes ago. So this Outlook v2, you can see this is available under the folder. So basically this is our metabot which got migrated, and this is the read mail Outlook. So let me quickly open this. So here you can see all the logic got migrated. So whatever logic is present here in this Outlook v2 metabot is migrated here and available in this particular folder. Now let's see this read Outlook. So this is the code which got migrated. So once your code will migrate, you can see here there are few new things will be available here. So you have to understand that first. So you can see here this task bot run. Okay, so in our original code there is no task bot. This is a independent task where we are not calling any subtask. But here you can see this run bot everywhere. So wherever we have used the metabot, so it is saying that task bot run. The reason is here we do not have any concept of using the metabot. Okay, but when you migrate the code, it will looks like this only. So This task bot will basically allow you to select your logic from this section. So in case if you want to select any task bot or anything which is available in a different task, so for that you have to use this task bot option, right? So that is the reason it is asking, or it is showing, or I can say it got migrated with this one. But for delay, you can see there is no changes. It looks like only same for if conditions also. But wherever we have used a metabot to call any task, call any logic, so that got migrated to task, run task bot or something. So now if you want to run this task, okay, so it will give you some error. Okay, now let's see what error we are going to get. So I'm just running this, I'm just clicking confirm. Okay, so it is saying like there was a problem at line number 1. This may due to the following reason. So it is saying this is the reason. The reason is the bot is trying to look for these locations. The bot, my metabot, Outlook V2, launch Outlook. Okay, so if I go to the folder, I'm just closing this and coming here. In the bot, we do not have anything like this. So the first thing what we have to do, we have to select the logic here. So you have to make some changes in the code. So let's start doing that. So you have to just see what logic you are calling this launch Outlook. So you have to just click here and you have to select the metabot and you have to look for a logic. So this is the logic which we are using. So similarly, I have to select for all the metabot steps. Okay, this is done now. Let me save this. The first thing is you have to select all the logic. Okay, now you can see this path, bot, Outlook V2, and the logic name. So once we run this, it will run. But again, we will get some error because when you migrate your code from Automation Anywhere version 11 to Automation 360, you have to see few more things. So let's see. So I'm just going to see this is the launch Outlook, and this variable got migrated because here, if you see here, this launch output. So we are just assigning the output value to the V output. So, but here in Automation 360, we have a different options available for the variables. So that is the reason it automatically converted and it is assigning this into here. Okay. Now, so I'm just seeing the code or anything we need to make changes. So I'm just coming here. It is selecting the account. Okay. Okay. Now I'm coming to my old code. So here in this get all mail ID item options. So here we have selected as 3. So similarly, we have to put the value here also. So I'm just putting a 5 here. Okay. So this is the input which we are giving here. So bot will read our top 5 email. Okay. So once you are putting the 5, it will assign the output to the dictionary variable, which you can see here that also got automatically created. And after that, it the particular value is now assigning into a table variable. Okay. So in this table, we are assigning that particular value and assigning into another variable called array mail IDs. So if you see here, the variable type here is a table. So we are opening the Outlook, then we are selecting the inbox and we are getting all the email and assigning into a table variable. Okay. In our old code, we have a concept of assigning into the array variable, but here we do not have that the same options available. So we have to make some changes. So here, once this value is assigned into the table data, then let's see how your loop will work. If I run this code, it will not perform anything. It will throw again an error. Okay, so we have to make some changes. So this array mail ID variable, okay, if you run this, it will not work because our output data is saving into this array mail ID table, right? So what we will do here in the loop, instead of using these options, we have to select a table. So we will put our loop inside the table itself because we are assigning this value into the table. Now I'm just selecting our table variable here. And once this table variable is selected, you have to assign your output and the output will assign into a record type variable. So let me create a record variable. This I'm putting email table row. Okay, so now it will store everything into this. Okay, now let's see what else we have done here. So I'm just coming here. Here in this another logic, which you can see this select mail item. So this logic will, let's see what changes we have done here while running in the code. So here we are just using an array variable and we are passing the counter, okay, and getting the positions. So in automation 360, we have to do the same thing. So let's see where we are doing this. Okay, so this set vid. So here we have to select a variable from where we can get the information. So as we are keeping this information into the table variable, and after that inside the loop we are assigning into a record. So we have to select that record variable here and the index will be 0. Okay, so we have selected this. Now after that, the subject and everything will be same only. So wherever you are passing any informations using your of the previous version of your task, okay, so make sure you are checking those things because once you migrate your code into automation 360, you will not have everything mapped. So you have to analyze your code, or you can run it by putting the error handler, and then you can analyze a particular line or a error and fix it. So now let me save this, and now I'm running this code. Let's see whether it is working or not. Okay, so we can see our first message box. and the second email, the third one, the fourth one, and this one is the fifth one. So by this way, you can migrate your code from automation version 11 to automation 360. So only thing is, when you migrate your code, you have to be careful. When the code is moved to automation 360, you have to understand where you have to make the changes, because something will be not available here in automation 360 which you have seen in automation version 11. Because in automation 360 we have so many new features available that is amazing and very helpful for a developer. Okay, so you have to just analyze your code and fix those things in order to run your code. I hope this tutorial video will help you to understand how we can migrate a code, okay, where you have used a metabot to automation 360. So in case if you have any question or any suggestion, I would request you to kindly put into a comment section, or you can mail us at rpa.developers1@gmail.com.